Okay, thank you for joining us on this episode of Lord of Lore. I'm your host, Mark Norman. My co host is Lord Drew. You can find him at Lord_Drew_72 at Twitch. He does video games, so check him out. Hit that like and subscribe button. Feel free to comment below about this episode or any future episodes you'd like us to check out. So thanks. Enjoy the show, and thanks for stopping by. Okay, welcome to Lords of Lore. This episode, we're going to be talking about Captain America MCU universe. This is dedicated for the 4th of July to him. The first movie we're going to talk about is Captain America: The First Avenger. So everyone should pretty much know his bio for the most part, so we won't go into complete detail.
Well, the first Avenger is his bio,
right? But
so
we're not going to go like deep into it. you know. Um. So it's World War II. The Nazis who, you know, kind of what Hydra,
yeah.
becomes. And
Well, Hydra's gonna actually consume the Nazi.
right. So here's Steve Rogers wanting to join the army to fight.
He's trying everything to get in,
but he is scrawny, no muscle.
Yeah, he wasn't physically healthy enough to even entertain getting in.
Right. So I mean, he goes different places trying, but gets rejected every time.
Steve from Harlem's. What are you gonna be, Steve from Ohio next time?
But then a professor or a scientist sees something that he's looking for a super soldier.
He sees a good man.
Right. That's what he wants. He wants
a good person.
So
he made a mistake before. He wants a good person this time.
So he asks Steve Rogers, does he want to kill Nazis?
Steve doesn't want to kill anyone.
No. Just doesn't like bullies.
Right. Doesn't matter where they're from.
Nope. So
that's his movie. These are quotes straight from the movie. Steve Rogers is so easy to quote because think of goodness.
Yep. So gets into the basic training, gets picked for the experiment, because he has that heart and that courage to lay. He literally lays on a grenade,
right,
to protect everybody.
Right, where the
strong soldier type,
the general or whatever thinks it's going to be his man that's going to go for that grenade. It's actually Rogers that doesn't hesitate. His man runs and hides.
Yep.
He's hiding behind a Jeep. He's like, oh shit, fuck that.
Stick a needle in that kid's arm, it's gonna go right through him.
Come on, girls.
Look at that. He's making me cry.
I am looking for qualities beyond the physical.
Do you know how long it took to set up this project? All the groveling I had to do in front of Senator What's-His-Name's committees?
Yes, I know. I am well aware of your efforts.
Then throw me a bone. Hodge passed every test we gave him. He's big, he's fast, he obeys orders, he's a soldier.
He's a bully.
You don't win wars with niceness, Doctor. You win wars with guts. Ray! Get away! Get back!
The dummy grenade. All clear. Back in formation.
Is this a test?
He's still.
Rogers jumps on the grenade.
Right, and that's what gets him to be in the super soldier program.
Yeah, that's what ensures it, that he's the one.
Right.
That's the winning moment.
Yeah.
One of the many. I mean, but that is the one that, proves the real point.
Right. And, throughout this, Red Skull's looking for mystic artifacts, basically, for power.
Right.
So, while that's going on. So.
Right, we're being introduced to the Tesseract.
The Tesseract, yes. Which it shows its power. Wow. I mean, they vaporize humans, or
Right.
what we
Eats
learned.
holes in anything.
Right.
Right. It's one of the Infinity Stones.
Right. So, and then so here's the experiment. It goes completely right, and here comes Steve Rogers. He is peak human condition all over, right?
Right.
Just he,
He's he's considered to be peak human in all his attributes now. Mind, body is it's perfect.
right. But then Hydra, which it infiltrates everything. You find out, but they're
Because
everywhere.
remember, the serum amplifies who you are,
Right.
so it
That's
does affect your mind.
right. Like Red Skull, it did the Red Skull.
Right. It amplified his evil, his want for power, and to use that power to control everything.
Right. So, um, but I like this. I like the whole character. The it's the his morals are ironclad.
Right.
You can't sway Captain America. You I mean to do bad things you can't.
No. No.
So I mean his will is probably one of his top superpowers.
Will in the American spirit,
Right.
will is his power.
Right.
If it's a superpower, like everything else is just peak human. And that some people are going to say, well, a peak human can only bench this much or run this fast. Or no, these humans like Usain Bolt is not peak human. There's humans that are going to be way faster. The peak a human body's potential is what they're saying. So 3, 5 tons isn't out of his reach. Speeds up to 40 miles an hour. It's not out of his reach. His leaping ability should be, you know, you got to think beyond the Olympics. Think what the Olympics will be in, 500 years. That's what he would be in everything.
Right.
I mean, if we keep going at this forward rate,
Right. Yeah.
humanity,
Each generation
he's
seems like the
he's
athletes get.
peak human.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh, so his his supporting cast and friends, his childhood, his friend Bucky Barnes. That's
Right.
one.
Right. Lifelong friend.
Like, Peggy Carter
Right. New introduction.
and his love interest and
Right.
throughout the series for the most part. You got Howard Stark, Tony
Right.
Stark's father.
Tony's dad.
Yep. Uh, one of the generals. I forget.
Yeah, I can't remember
I
his
can't
name.
remember.
It's not. I haven't watched him. You said you just watched him, so
Right, but the names I
Yeah.
sometimes just
Yeah.
don't stick like that. Like supporting. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's not well known.
He might not even be a general. He might be
Right.
a colonel or a
Right, it might be a
lieutenant.
colonel, but yeah,
I don't know what his rank is.
played by Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Everyone know. Um, and then on villains on his villain side, you got Red Skull, Amenzola
Yep.
is another one who's the a real scientist that creates the weapons and
Right. He's the head scientist for the Hydra.
right. But I mean, for being the first Captain America movie, I was really surprised on how well they did with it.
I loved it. Well, I remember when I walked out of the theaters, I was like, nobody's gonna like this because they did it right. And usually when they, that much story is gonna kill it.
Right. Not there
And
wasn't
it wasn't.
right.
It didn't.
There was so much more story than action in this
Yeah.
movie, and yeah, usually people go in and they want just the action.
Yeah.
Story's like secondary to them for the most part, but this one had the story. The action was right where it should have been.
Right. It wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't all about action. It was about telling the story, the birth of Captain America.
Right. And I mean, I was shocked on how good they did because when I went in there, I'm like, that is Captain America.
Yeah.
That's
I also like that it showed that he killed. They got to show you that he's a soldier.
yeah.
Remember that Captain America is a soldier. He's at war. And when he's not at war, he's Captain America. He's still that soldier.
Right.
He'll understand if he needs to kill someone.
Right. He knows when and when not to. when he
Right.
has to when he
Right.
does
Peak human
exactly.
decision making.
And that's where he gets his shield too. It's the classic Captain America shield
Right.
where he's going
He picks it out himself. He
right.
likes that look, that design. He wants it.
Yep. He designed his suit too in that movie.
Him
So
and the vibranium seek each other out.
right. That's what it. Yeah. That's what they showed you. I like that. And it's virtually unbreakable.
Yes, it's
So,
supposed to be completely indestructible.
but yeah, the way he uses it is unique. I think
Right.
some of the ways is like I would have never thought to use it that way.
Yeah. He's good with he's a master of the shield. He's a
Right.
master of many weapons and arts
That was
but and he
that,
picks stuff up real quick. It'd be like he's a living taskmaster. He's not without the, you know, injections and stuff.
right.
Peak human again.
Right.
He sees like with how he instantly
Right.
picks up what he's doing. Don't
Yeah,
want to talk about another one, but real, he's a natural. He'll be natural. If he runs into jujitsu, he'd pick it up from that person fast.
right. Yeah, because when I wasn't sure if they were gonna how they were gonna use the shield during the movies, like, but it seemed like they each situation they tried to think how Captain America would
Yeah,
use.
they used it how he would. And they didn't shy from it.
Right. Yeah. Because you know part of the movie he wielded the gun until he
Right,
got more comfortable with the shield and didn't
right.
really need the gun that much. So, uh, but the, there's some cool scenes in there. Uh, the train scene was pretty cool. I thought
Yeah,
when they get
that's how they're gonna end Bucky. That's a good one.
yeah
Since they're not doing rockets, they do it on a train this time because it was always a rocket up to that point.
yeah it was
So they're throwing a twist for all the fans.
Grab my hand!
right and it showed you too the how strong that shield is. It took that hit. Bucky took that hit with the shield
Right.
and knocked him back. I mean, almost threw him off the train, uh, but he just doesn't have the strength that Captain America does,
Right. Right.
which they show you. You need that with that shield,
Yeah.
though.
Right. The shield's special, unique because Captain America's peak human strength, and even in a condition, well conditioned Bucky, it's not enough to wield the shield right. He would have to practice, and yeah, he wasn't ready.
No, but he grabbed it to save his life.
Right.
Is what um, but the Howling Commandos, I forgot about them too. They were in
Yeah,
that.
they make their appearance. That's like original story stuff.
Yep. Yeah, they threw a lot in these movies that pay homage to the comic books in the past and stuff,
Yeah.
which I enjoy too.
Yeah, I always like that. There's so many. They call them Easter eggs. There's so many Easter eggs. I don't even. We probably never see them all.
No, because even when I watch it now, I catch a couple here and there too that I
Like, oh, I didn't see that.
didn't see
Yeah.
that or didn't know that character was doing that for that reason.
Right.
And yeah, this all he wants to do is have a dance with Peggy Carter at
Yep.
the end.
That's it. He wants to learn. He wants to learn how to dance. Slow dance with Peggy.
But
Him and the Red Skulls fight. The two super soldiers. That was pretty awesome.
yeah,
Adding the dynamic of them fighting on a plane was
yeah,
also, mimicked the rocket idea.
yeah,
You know,
where it's
adding Red Skull to that, changing the whole Skull dynamic.
yep, and I mean
Right, the Tesseract,
it
doing the Tesseract stuff.
and it showed you the how different their super soldier serum worked with on themselves.
Right.
So you saw the totally different dynamic.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Red Skull, you could tell that it had made him all consumed by his mission of Hydra.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
nothing else. He he's more than living for it. He wants to die for it.
yeah,
I kept sensing that he wants the power or he wants to die trying to get the power. That's
yeah.
that.
That's it. That was his only option.
Right.
And then
There
he
is
gave
no
himself.
there's no capture.
Nope.
There's no right.
Yep.
It's I either get all this power and I become this what I want to be, this tyrant that rules, Hydra rules the world. I'm sitting at the head, you know,
Right.
or I will die.
Right. I
And
will
there
not.
is no in between.
I don't want to be part of this world if I'm not in
Right,
power.
exactly. Right.
So they're having that epic battle, and that he grabs hold of that tesseract,
Yeah.
and that's where it consumes him.
Yeah. He holds it for a moment before it begins to consume him. So he had some will.
Right.
I mean, it normally just instantly consumes you. I mean, it took a moment. He's like, and it started, it's slowly 80,
Yeah.
like if you saw what it did with the collector's slave,
Yeah. And
it
then
was
instantly.
instant death.
Yep.
So you have to have some power, so it showed Red Skull had power,
I mean, that's the one of the weaknesses I think about the MCU is the way they do their villains sometimes. I mean, you got Red Skull who's really part of the Captain America mythos, and
Yeah, he is. He's a
he
big part,
and
decade to decade.
right. And I mean, you basically use him for a one-off here, which
Yeah.
you wish you could have brought him back for some other movies,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Marvel just
Yeah, they do one off a lot of their villains. They do off them, you know.
like I-
I mean, we know they can bring them back, but they showed you that Red Skull's not. This is what happened to Red Skull.
right. He wasn't gonna come
Yeah.
back, but yeah, that's
He's
it.
just a phantom. He's
That's
no one.
that's one of the things that I find against the MCU is some of their villains they don't give it uh, the respect that they really deserve. I mean,
Yeah, they do change. They have changed a lot of the villains and stuff just to
yeah,
suit the movies and stuff.
yeah. I mean, I
They've
understand.
made some changes. I
I
mean,
understand.
that's the MCU. That's how you have to do
Yeah,
it in that sense.
I,
Then when they teamed with Disney, other changes had to be made.
I get that. You
Everything's PG-13.
right.
Marvel
There's more
comics are rated
with
R, on the borderline of R.
yeah with the MCU. You are really restricted with certain things from Disney. Uh, the time constraint. I mean, the comics you have this whole arc that could last for years or
Right.
here and
Right.
but here you got to bring it all
You've got
into
2 hours or you've got 2 movies.
right. But so they really got to cram everything into one
Right.
and
1, 2,
change
two and
things
a
up.
half hour
I
movie
get
and,
I get
bang
that.
it out. Right. This is what we can use.
But yeah, the Avengers. I mean, the Captain America First Avenger movie was really good, way better than I thought it was going to
Yeah,
be,
it was
and
awesome.
it really set the tone for the Captain America character
Yes.
and the world that he's going to be in. Okay, so the basically the end of the movie after the uh, fight with Red Skull, him and Peggy are going, giving the saying goodbye, but not trying to say goodbye,
Right.
as he's got to take
He's gotta take the plunge. He's
yeah,
gotta the only thing he can think of is to put the plane in the water.
right. Otherwise,
It's gonna drop
it's going to kill.
bombs over New York.
Right. So he's making the ultimate sacrifice.
He wants to put it down before it can get anywhere where it does any real damage.
Right. Because he's what Antarctica or Antarctica, like near
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So basically, this is where he gets frozen and suspended animation.
Right.
Where the movie, I mean, that's where the movie they show you. They call Shield this
Right. They
because they
introduce
found
Shield to
something.
you. Right.
They found something. They find Captain America. He wakes up and they Shield tries to fool him like he's back
Yeah. Like
back in
he's back
19.
in the day.
Yeah.
back in World War II days
but he did not fall for that.
at all.
Yeah,
And they looked like Hydra to him.
you're right. Yeah, I could see where he
He instantly mistook them for Hydra.
Hydra. Yeah,
Those are the bad guys.
right.
And he gets downtown New York. He's like, what? He recognizes where he's at, even though it's so high tech.
Right.
He realizes where he is.
Right.
And there's no way that this is a fake place, you know?
Mhm. So, and that's where he meets Nick Fury, and this is goes into the Avengers.
Right.